Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for Trend Micro session. And our session today will be about how to make the SOC life easier with a Trend Micro Vision 1. Please feel free to drop your questions inside the Q&A box, and I will be more than happy to answer all of them at the end of the session. This is me, Ahmed Faragallah, Systems Engineer at Trend Micro KSA team. At the beginning, let me give you a small brief about Trend Micro. Actually, we are a Japanese cybersecurity company, just focusing in the cybersecurity field for more than 30 years right now. We are in Saudi since 2008, and we have a huge expansion in 2018. Our KSA and MENA headquarters is in Riyadh, and we are more than 6,700 across more than 65 countries around the globe. Actually, if we have a look together into any environment, we can see complex network, cloud and virtualization technology, consumerization, endpoints, emails, and actually that's how we are mapping our Trend Micro portfolio. You can see there the network defense strategy or the network defense family with multiple of products to cover the complex network. We have our IDS system and our main member family there, which is the DDI, and we have our main IPS system, which is the tipping point there. And when it comes to the cloud and virtualization, we have hybrid cloud security with its main member, which is the deep security. It's a full-fledged solution, just dedicated for the cloud and the virtualization technology. When it comes to the endpoint and everything related to the user behavior, we have multiple of suites to cover this when it comes to the user protection. And the main product there is the Apex one for the endpoint protection. All of this is connected together with what we call the Vision 1. It's a central management visibility for the detection and response capabilities for all the layers. Before we start talking about the Vision 1, let's have a look into the current security challenges in 2021. The first challenge here will be the alert fatigue. There is more than 10,000 security alerts received by over 55% of the IT security professionals. Wow, this is a huge number. And of course, it will make it very difficult to find the unknown threats. The second challenge here will be the information and console distribution. Actually, having a big numbers of security technologies which are being used nowadays by every single organization will lead to have difficulties in visualizing the whole picture, will lead also to have difficulties in understanding the risks from such uncorrelated tools. For example, there is our 25 plus security tool used by over 50% of the enterprise companies. And the problem with that, it will give it some hard time for the SOC team to visualize and see the whole picture. So from our experience in the market, we can see the problem facing the SOC and CERT team nowadays, like alert fatigue, as we were saying, so many alerts from the security product that is unclear which alerts really need to be addressed. The second challenge will be the console dispersion. As a SOC team, we need to respond to incidents across multiple management consoles. And of course, it will be very difficult. The third challenge will be the skills and staff shortage. Having such a big number of tools and a huge number of alerts needs a very skilled big team to handle. Number 4, the SIM rule updates. Actually, having a SIM in the place or the environment, it's a very important thing. But actually, it will need fine tuning for the rules, updating the rules. The more you feed the SIM, the more the result it will be there. But unfortunately, it will be uncorrelated. The fifth or the last challenge we have here, search and visibility for the unknown threats. We want to explore and visualize unknown threats, but unfortunately, we don't have the correlated tools and the desired skills. This all can be considered as the first part of the problem, and the second part of the problem will be that the new norm of the network design nowadays become under the title of trust no one. We must assume that the network has been penetrated, and it's a matter of the known versus the unknown instance. That will lead us to the zero trust approach, which assumes that all users and devices pose a threat. But fortunately, there is many steps towards the zero trust approach. Verify identities using multi-factor authentications, restrict network access using the microsegmentations and the DMZs, default deny app execution by the application safe listing, getting a visibility to the SaaS apps. Here we are talking about Office 365, Box, Dropbox, Gmail, and a lot of apps is using nowadays in the COVID era. So we can do that using the KSA solution and the secure web gateways. Beyond VPN, we need to provide a secure connection to the apps, which is called the Zero Trust Network Access. The last two together can be named SASE or ZTE. SASE, it's a Secure Access Service Edge, and ZTE is abbreviation for Zero Trust Edge. So we can think about it as a pyramid as well. The base will be what a cloud service are in use. Are they in risky? Actually, this will give you the visibility to the cloud application use and its repetition. The second thing will be the risk insights. Actually, are the users, the devices, the applications are healthy enough? Are the people who are outside the organization accessing my applications, are they allowed to do this? And the last or at the top of the pyramid will be the how to securely connect the users to the apps in the work from home era. And this, of course, will help us to map and reach to the SASE approach. So having the base and the second step, it's very useful, but it's not a zero trust or a SASE solution on its own. We need the top of the pyramid to be having or providing the zero trust capability. But till now, we can say it's early days to say that we have a complete zero trust solution. It's all about innovation and evaluation ahead. After we are now familiar with the security challenges and the zero trust approach, we might have a question in mind. Why detection and response? Here, I need to borrow a quote from Mr. Robert Miller, which is the FBI director, which says, there are only two types of companies, those that have been hacked and those that will be. So to address all these discussed challenges, Trend Micro is now offering the Trend Micro Vision 1, the XCDR, which is a cross-layer detections and response capabilities. Let's think together, what does a SOC or IR analyst want? Actually, he wants fast detection, response across the entire environment. But today, the SOC gets siloed inside into the EDR or into the endpoint. They get also some separate siloed view into the network event and limited visibility to the threats affecting the cloud workloads. So this all will generate incomplete noisy SIM alerts without any context. If that will be satisfying for the SOC team? Of course not, because it's important to see the whole picture, to have detection and response capabilities against the attack, which is spreading into the email, endpoints, servers, and network. So that's why now we have the XCDR, which will come to break down the silos and tell a story instead of the noise. So the Vision 1, we are talking about XCDR capabilities, detection and response capabilities for endpoint, for server, cloud security, email security, and network security as well, combined all together in one place, one console. which will correlate all the detection together, which will give you the whole picture, the whole story behind the attack. It's not about having such thousands of alerts without any correlation. And actually, now we are adding some of the features like the email gateways from Trend Micro as well, the mobile security, the web gateways, and even we are participating with some third-party products as well, like Palo Alto, Fortinet, and ForcePoint. Let's have a look on how it works. We will have the activity telemetry data and the detection alerts. This all will be filtered by the machine learning, data stacking, and the expert rules. So we will need to have a correlated detections. These detections will be sent to our XCDR console and your SIM if it's configured as well. And of course, our XCDR console or the vision wall will give you some capabilities of the response. It can be manual and it can be automated as well. Working with this way will give us a different approach than the others. Having Trend Micro XCDR in place will give you the ability to share the IOC between different layers, will give you the ability to correlate the detections of low confidence events across different layers. It will also make you able to have deep understanding of all data generated by all the layers. Here we are meaning like endpoint, server, network, emails. And of course, having such integrated investigation in one console will make you able to have different response actions across the layers. Having this different approach with a powerful solution will lead into being a leader in the 5 key areas. Here we are talking about the endpoints, the emails, the cloud, and the network. And of course, in turn will lead to have a leader and a best XCDR solution, according to Forrester Wave, Q1 2020. Now, let's have a deep dive into the XCDR demo. Let's zoom in the picture and see more details. From the console here, you can see the security posture. It's a workbench alert overview. You can see the top endpoints with observed attacks techniques. You can see the endpoint reporting activity. Let's go a little bit down. You can see here the top 10 risky users, top 10 risky devices. You can see the workbench alert trending by tactics. Actually, this mapped with MITRE attack framework. Actually, we are participating or already participated in the last MITRE campaign, and Trend Micro managed to have the higher detection rate with our initial configuration. And here you can see as well the cloud app usage, the top 10 risky cloud apps, top 10 most accessed cloud app categories, and the cloud app usage by category. This is the visibility over the SaaS applications we were talking about. Let's dig deeper, and for example, going to the top 10 risky users, let's double click on John Royce and see more details about this profile. Here you can see all the details about John, his email address, his location, the last seen, along with the user risk score. Actually, also you can see the devices he can access. You can see like different operating systems, different places, the IP address of each device, and the last logon, and more details. As well, you can see the cloud app category usage, the recently used cloud apps. Here, we are talking about visibility over the SaaS applications to address the zero trust approach as well. Here you can see the compromised event and the geolocation distribution. Maybe the user is manipulating, or someone is using different, is frauding, or like having to be the same of this user and is trying to access from different locations. So you can see this as well from the console. Another thing, it's very important, and it's there in the version 1 as well, the risk index. Here we are talking about the whole environment, how many users you have, how many devices, the IP addresses you are using, along with the risk index for the whole environment. It depends on the suspicious user activity, the account compromise, threat detection, vulnerability detection, and the anomaly detection as well. Let's move to the Trend Micro version 1 workbench. And here you can see all the correlated detections. You can see the possible APT attacks. You can see the score for every single detection in your console. You can see the impact scope, how many endpoints, how many servers, how many users, how many emails are participating in these detections. Along with the model severity, actually all the detections is coming off the models, which is made by Trend Micro. So it's critical, it's high, it's medium, it's low. Everything is there in the console. You can see it's all for you to dig deeper, to understand more about what is happening in your environment. You can view the old detections, the new, the in progress one. You can see the closed detection or the closed false positive one as well. So let's dig deeper into one of these detections. You can see here like a chart and all the details on the left. You can see the PowerShell run, and there is email, and there is a user. We can go and check for the execution profile, which is generating the root cause analysis. Let's press on it together and go to see more details. Here you can see the target endpoint, the first observed object, the matched object, the noteworthy object. You can see the PowerShell was run and this dropped file.dat, and this one, it's all the details there, as you can see, the timing, all the details and the communication between the exe file and the dat, and even the command line was executed at this time. Another thing we can go through as well, this XCDR version 1 has the NDR. It's a network detection and response capabilities using our DDI as a sensor in place along with the network analytic. You can see everything related to the attack from the network perspective as well. So let's go and do right click and check the network analytic report. Here you can see it's a visualization for the attack, all the IOCs, the transactions, the scope, the lateral movement. Actually, you can see your internal host and the external servers, and during the time, whether the IP was involved, the protocols, the connections, everything is visualized for you there to see it happening in place. So here we are talking about detection and response capabilities for the network layer, along with all the transactions, as you can see, CNC and call back, CNC callback, and all the details there in the visualization for the SOC and the CERT team to make their life easier. And when it comes to the respond capabilities, we have seen all the detection, so it's time to respond. Actually, we have different response action. You can isolate the endpoint, terminate the process, block IP, retrieve files, and of course, if you have the email capabilities there in place, you will be able to take some actions on the email as well, like runtime, delete email. So also here we have some remediation inside to suggest some actions to reduce the displayed risk score. For example, the possible mitigation might be isolating the device, block the web access, add something to the block list, and more to be there as well. Also, your security analyst can actively search through the data lake. Actually, you can combine this with, combine the criteria you have with MITRE framework And the result there will be interactive. You can press right click to take an action like quarantine or delete an email if it's related to mail detection, or you can start a workbench for further analysis as well. The good news is that all was built in threat intelligence. Actually, we as a Trend Micro have like 15 threat research centers worldwide. And we are as a Trend Micro on the ZDI. What is the ZDI? It's a zero-day initiative. It's the largest bug bounty program in the world, just dedicated in zero-day vulnerability discovery. For example, in 2020, we managed to discover like around 1,400 advisories. Trend Micro also has a huge database, which we call Smart Protection Network. There is around like 2.5 terabytes of queries happening yearly. Actually, you can leverage this kind of threat intelligence from the Threat Intelligence app, from the Vision One console as well, to help you to identify the threats. Another threat here, another threat intelligence here, I need to highlight that you can add a user-defined suspicious object. As you can see, you can add domain, file SHA-1, IP address, URL, and actually we also are supporting STIX integration and YARA files as well. Using such threat intelligence and tools, and according to ESG Research in September 2020, we found that the organizations with XCDR are better protected. It can detect quicker. It can respond completely, with some like 60 less likely to report that attack is repropagation again in your environment. It can detect quicker, 2.2 faster. They are better protected, have half as many successful attacks over the last 12 months. And to cover the challenge of the skills and staffing shortage, and to make the SOC life easier, we are offering managed XCDR service, which will provide our customers with a continuous monitoring for the activities on the endpoints, server, network, and the email, which also will help our customer to identify complex target threats. Also, it will help our customers to conduct mitigation measures and routinely sweeping for threats discovered by Trend Micro Threat Research. Let's see it into action from the console. You can see here the managed XCDR app. You can see all the recommended actions. There's some of them is approved by the admin for the console, and some of them is rejected. So this is the manual. You can have like a managed XCDR service, and then you can review all the actions. You can approve or deny based on your ease and based on your what you can see. Or you can go to the settings and make it automatically approve all the response action coming and recommended by a Trend Micro expert team. To summarize it up, you can think about the XCDR as a puzzle. The more piece you add, the more visibility you get. Here we are talking about email, cloud app security is a solution for protection for the Office 365. So here we are talking about attachment metadata, external links, user activity. And when it comes to the endpoints, so we are talking there about the Apex One, our main solution for the endpoints. And when it comes to the server, we are talking about the deep security. It's a full-fledged solution for the server protection. If we are talking about some cloud workloads, we are here talking about the deep security or workload security for the servers or for the instance on the cloud as well. And regarding the network, we have our deep discovery, which is our inspector, which will be in the place, and along with our network analytic correlated with our Vision One. So this is the NDR system. Having all of them combined together, will give you the full picture. So while the powerful toolset in XCDR can be used with one product, the more products you have, the will result and more complete investigation and the greater correlation opportunities you will get. Last but not least, I would like to say that we are actively listening to our customer feedback. So from the XCDR console itself, you can create your own request, feature request, and you can follow up on them from the same place. You also can see a list of the requests that have been raised elsewhere to be up to date with the market needs as well. And here, I would like to take a moment to celebrate with all of you with our certifications in 2021. As a Vision 1 is ISO certified, and it has the SOC 2 and SOC Layer 3 certificates as well. Actually, if you are interested and eager to see it into action, you can go for our free assessments as well. Using the link assessment.xcdr.trendmicro.com, it will help you to scan your Office 365 G Suite and your endpoints as well for the threats. And if you are a cloud builder, please feel free to use our cloud conformity for a free assessment to check your cloud environment for any misconfiguration. Thank you very much for attending today's session. And now I will give some time to answer your question. Thank you.